This is a rags to riches story that involves J-Cal. So I get invited to the Harvard Business School to give a speech. First and last time I was invited, because I was disinvited, Jason, after that, what happened. But
the back 2 rows walked out in the first 5 minutes.
Wow. It was great. Incredible. It was incredible. I get invited to do this thing. Obviously, it's in Boston. It's in wintertime, right, J-Cal?
Yeah, it was winter and it was Boston. It's like not a great trip.
So, Sax, I was like, okay, J-Cal, what are we going to do to spice this trip up? And we invite Big Al.
Oh.
Okay. And we get on the plane and Big Al says, oh, you want to play a little poker? I said, absolutely. And I turned to J-Cal and I said, Jason, do you want to play? He's like, eh. I said, you guys can play against each other. And I said, Jason, why don't you deal? He's like, I'm not interested in dealing. And I said, J-Cal, I'll give you 10% of whatever I win.
I was like, shuffle up.
Shuffle up and deal. He deals the game for fucking 6 hours from LA, where we were.
Poker.
Chinese poker to Boston. I smashed Big Al. I smashed him. And then we go into the thing. We have like a nice dinner, blah, blah, blah. We go out. We have the thing at Harvard where I said something like, I think an MBA is basically worthless. It's just not a good use of your time. I think you should be out building things. The back 2 rows walked out. They were completely offended. And I did the speech. It doesn't matter. I get back on the plane and we're flying back. And at some point I realized, I said, Jason, what's the tally? And Jason says, I'm up 40,000. And I said, excuse me, you're up for... And it turned out that I was fucking smashing him.
Smashing.
Anyways, the long story short of it was that we circled for a few times and then we finally landed and J-Cal won $55,000.
So you kept playing circling so you could win more?
Here's what you don't know.
Threw the pack of cards at Jason and said, I never want to see you ever again. I never want to have you fucking play poker ever again.
The truth is, I went to the pilots and I told them, I'll give you $5,000 if you can make this flight last another hour. And they were like, yeah, we got to circle. And we just kept circling. So I was at the airport for an hour. I was like, I got to get another hour in.
He lost $550,000 on a fucking stupid trip. He never even wanted to come.
He didn't want to go.
He didn't want to go.
We go to the best Michelin star restaurant in Boston.
Oh my God. In Boston. It's so fucking stuffy, by the way.
And it's so stuffy. And
so stuffy. They take themselves so seriously.
And they're trying to, bring, 18 courses to us. And, Big Al's a big guy. He's called Big Al for a reason. I mean, he's a linebacker. And they say to Big Al, he's like, I'll take I want a steak. What do you got?
Steak.
He's like, there's a steak included in the prefix. You should do the tasting menu. Chamath's like, oh, yeah, tasting menu. Fuck it. Let's go. I'll put more truffles on it. They're like, it's not truffle season. Sorry. He's like, okay, well, make it truffle season. Anyway, they start bringing the food. And he wants to eat a steak. And they bring him, I kid you not.
One of those funny scenes in a movie where like they pull the tin and it's like a small piece of meat that's like
giant plate, giant Schaefer comes flying off.
A piece of parsley and that's it.
The steak was the size of a pack of Wrigley's gum. I am not kidding. They took like a beautiful steak and they just made a little rectangle out of it. He takes his fork. He puts it on and he holds it up to the woman. He goes, where's my steak? And he puts the whole steak in his mouth. He swallows it in one bite. She goes, sir, that was your steak. He's like, I want a steak.
He starts screaming, I want a steak.
I want a steak. The whole restaurant's turned around. He's like, I ordered a steak. This is not a steak.
If you ask him about this trip, he's like, I lost so much money.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't eat. It was cold in Boston.
It was cold. It was the worst trip ever.
It was a horrible trip ever.
And he is like, the woman's like, well, how can we make you happy? He's like, bring me a steak. They're like, well, sir, we gave you a steak. The steak came.
Jake, how many steaks are you going to afford now that Robinhood just went public? Congrats, by the way.
Yeah, it's right now it's my third biggest win, Uber, Calm, and then this one. And, time in market. I think Robinhood going out at 30 billion. There's a chance this could go 10, 20, 30x from here. I think it could be $1 trillion company someday. 22 million members, even through all the craziness that we talked about on this podcast. They're learning, they're fixing things, and 22 million people using the product. And they're going to launch so many other products as part of it. And all these young people getting financially literate. I know it's a double-edged sword, but I kind of feel like this generation.
No, on balance, it's better. On balance, it's important.
I mean, can you imagine if we were in our 20s trading derivatives and options and just trading stocks all day? I wanted to do that, but it was too hard. You had to get a broker. It was $35 a trade when I started trading, and you had to call Charles Schwab and put it in order.
Of all the things I could have done online in my 20s and 30s, trading stocks didn't end up being high on the list, but
you did play a lot of cards.
I did play a lot of cards.
Right, but that's what these kids are doing. Like for them, this is, in the same zone, a lot of them, as sports betting, wagering, playing poker for money. They're learning. I don't know how you feel about it, David.
Sounds like a great investment strategy.
Well, I mean, if you make a lot of mistakes early in your career when you're making $100 bets or buying a tenth of a stock,
true.
It's small stakes and you're going to learn a hell of a lot. So I think the education part is true. You can only learn by doing, right, Sax? I mean, you can't learn in a thing. Okay.